What is up? So I got some test server stuff for you today, and I just kind of wanted to quickly go over my thoughts on the potential Pack 2 changes. Of course, these aren't written in stone, but I would just kind of like to give my feedback on them since I play a lot of Pack 2. I probably have played Pack 2 more than anybody else. I play this pack a lot. It is my whole niche, really, in the competitive community. I am the Pack 2 guy. Like this pack used to be just second best pack. Not many people played it, and I grinded this pack, and now I competitively play it against some of the world's best turtle players. So I know this pack pretty well. My credentials aside, let's get into some of the changes. Let's start with the early game. So Beetle and Ladybug, a staple combo of Pack 2, slightly changed. Ladybug was originally nerfed. Now I believe it is buffed. It is down 1 HP, but its text is friendly. So now that if Ladybug gets a perk, it gets the attack, which sounds like a small buff, but that actually goes a long way. Because there's a lot of times in Pack 2 where I'll buy, if I want to put a perk on my Ladybug and I have another Ladybug in the shop, I will buy the other Ladybug, put that perk on that Ladybug, the new one, and then stack it. That way I get the temp attack on my level 2 Ladybug. Like, it goes a long way. Um, I don't think I think they don't see this as a buff because like turn 1 it's a nerf, but like turn 3 and onward it is for sure a buff. Beetle faint give perk behind. I think this is atrocious. I think this is terrible. I don't. I just think it is completely unnecessary, and it makes Beetle feel really weird. I think Beetle was like a perfectly fine unit. Doesn't need this. I like I get that. I think in their minds, this kind of like synergizes with Toucan and Axolotl more, but I don't think that's gonna work the way they think it works. Like Beetle just giving the perk to himself is fine, and it like you could still go Beetle with Axolotl, and it's just like you have to pay the price of Beetle's gonna be stuck with the equipment that he has. Like, I think Beetle Ladybug, albeit a strong combo in Pack 2, is comparatively to like like Horse Cricket starts. It's like the Horse Cricket of Pack 2. I think it's perfectly fine. I really think these shouldn't be changed. Honestly, I think tier 3 and below are completely fair right now and Puppy Pack. Like there's some things I would say are weak. Like I think Shrimp needs to go to 3 triggers at the very least. You need to make Shrimp not hit Loyal Chinchilla, because the whole point of Shrimp was you cycle chinchillas and beavers. Now it is not even worth to cycle a chinchilla. You have 2 triggers, and then you have a chance at your first trigger being wasted if you cycle a chinchilla. It's terrible. Like Shrimp, he's still okay. I just think he either needs 3 trigger limits or make it where he can't hit the Loyal Chinchilla spawn, and he'll be fine. The only unit I think that is actually like overpowered, and I've been saying this, is Pangolin. Pangolin is overpowered. I don't know if the devs. I know the devs can see the stats, but I don't know if the stats are telling you the story of Pangolin. I don't know exactly what they see. But like Pangolin doesn't ever end up on your board, but he's doing things. Like the Ladybug that can get up to 20 attack with perks is useless unless you get the 2 Pangolin pills on him, and all of a sudden he's like a 20/20. Like the Pangolin is the behind the scenes most OP unit of the early game. I'll stand by that. And I don't think he even needs a big nerf. I think just putting him down to 4 HP, maybe even nerfing his base stats, goes a long way. Like this unit is like the secret cream of the crop. He is so good. Like he is like Puppy is the best tier up, and like Pangolin might be better. Like they are really close. Like I think Pangolin for sure. If any unit is getting nerfed in the early game, it needs to be Pangolin. Otherwise, I think everything's fine. I really hope the Ladybug change, it's like fine. I don't really care. Beetle change, I think the Beetle change is atrocious. I really don't want to see the Beetle change go through. There was a change to Moth. It looks like it got reverted because this is just normal Moth. I think Moth is fine. They kind of killed Moth with the monkey update, Like Moth can't really buff itself, but like Moth still has his use cases. I think he's fine. I really would like to see Ladybug Beetle reverted though. Not a big fan of this. Um, if you're gonna nerf anything, you need to nerf Pangolin. And I don't even think in their minds that they're nerfing Beetle and Ladybug, because like this Ladybug I think is a buff, but this Beetle change just makes Beetle. You're killing a synergy with Mole, which is really sad. Like Mole needs all the support he can get. I don't think this is gonna help as much as you think it does. Like if they think that this Beetle change is like a buff to Beetle, then they're just wrong. That's not gonna help. It's like I'm not gonna go level 2 Beetle into Toucan. Like I would maybe on like one turn, but then like you'll find your meat bone usually on turn 3 or turn 4. I don't like this change. I think Beetle fine as he is. Um, Later tiers, I think everything around here is the same. Poodle for T-Rex, I think this is also really bad. I would love Poodle back, obviously, but not like this. Like Poodle, I think Poodle was very overrated. He's always been good, but what's made Pack 2 different when Poodle's been gone is I would usually use Poodle as like a turns 9 to 10 scaler because he ended up usually being better than Axolotl and Moza. And now I just use Axolotl and Moza on those turns. I just buy lasagnas. I've learned to make do without Poodle. And then I would usually get rid of Poodle on like turn 11 for some premium scaler like Ellie Seal, maybe Dragon, and T-Rex. And now they're nerfing T-Rex and throwing him into custom exclusives. You'll see here. I don't think T-Rex even needs this nerf. Oh, they undid the nerf. Okay, well, I think T-Rex should stay in Pack 2. And let me kind of give some insight to that. One is Pack 2, pretty good wide scaling with Dragon, Ellie Seal. Axolotl is a wide scaler. Only time he scales tall is with hair. Chicken, a wide scaler. Moza is even like, he's a little concentrated. But he's kind of concentrated. Stingray is a concentrated buff. But it's like pretty much only Stingray and Moza your concentrated stats. Otherwise, this pack is all wide scaling. And like T-Rex was good because you're getting like, he's just two monkeys. You know, he's like two level 1 monkeys who are buffing your tier 5s or higher. I think T-Rex he's by no means the best scaler in the pack. I could see maybe like why you think that. He is a free scaler, which is nice. But like a T-Rex board will never compete in stats with an Elephant Seal board or a Dragon board. Especially if the Elephant Seal has support with Sauropod or the Dragon has support with Goat. Well, the only thing that makes T-Rex so nice is that you buy him, you get the stats. But like usually you can't even keep him around that long because like if you get him on turn 11, your opponent's either gonna be low or you're gonna be low. You're gonna need to like cycle in a toy, get some tempo options. I don't know. We really need T-Rex to be like a way to scale like 2 units tall. Because otherwise their only choices like Moza and Stingray, which require like 2 turns. And I don't know, like when you're playing a pack that has weaker tempo options than most of the other packs, and then you get access to these turn 9 scalers, the problem with these turn 9 scalers is you don't get the scaling for 2 turns. Like Stingray is a 2-turn wait, Moza is a 2-turn wait. There's a lot of times you'll find yourself dead before you get those stats. So, like T-Rex was a super nice pet to have. I don't even think he was busted. I think like compared to Elephant Seal and Dragon, with them having like support units, T-Rex is rather tame. I was one of the few Pack 2 players who was super chill with Poodle being removed. Because I've been saying Axolotl was good for a while. The only problem with Axolotl is Poodle did everything better than him. And now that Poodle's gone, my Axolotl like pick rate has gone way up. I think Axolotl's fine. But like I do not want Poodle back for T-Rex. Like I like T-Rex being able to be a good way for me to get like tall stats on 2 units. And I think having another wide scaler is, I'm just never gonna buy this poodle. Like, unless I hit him on a tier up. Otherwise, it's just Ellie Seal, Dragon, uh, Toys. They all scale better than him. And this poodle is weaker than the tier 5 poodle. It's a 3-2. I don't want this poodle back. I don't think anybody wants this poodle back. Like, I think TRex. I know I'm focusing on this one topic for a while, but I really don't want to see TRex go for poodle. I think it's a very bad change for the pack. Some other changes is this is not a new change. Orchid Mantis is in the pack. I would just like to address how I feel about Orchid Mantis. This unit is worse than every way. Let me go to Golden Pack. Sorry, the test server be laggy for me. Look at this unit. He summons a 12/12. He's a 2/2. But, like, he keeps the item as well. Orchid Mantis does not keep the item. He requires levels and stats for him to be relevant. And the problem with Puppy Pack is I'm never going to be leveling this Orchid Mantis. If I hit 2 chocolates, it's not going on the Orchid Mantis. It's going on the scaler. You know, it's going to go on my Moza. It's going to go on my Ellie Seal. It's going to go on my Dragon. Even my Poodle, preferably my T-Rex. Like, these chocolates are never going to find their way to him unless I'm absurdly ahead. And so you need chocolates and stats just so you can have, like, a 4-squad unit that summons a unit without an item. I think even if you just made Orchid Mantis, keep him the exact same, have him clone his item like the macaque does, I think he'd be fine. Because at least there's a use case where I can get a double peanut or a double coconut out of him. I think that change would go a long way to me even purchasing this unit. I've tried this unit a few times. I've tried him on the ideal board where I hit Owl the head of curve. I leveled Owl quickly into Buffalo. I leveled on 7 into Orchid Mantis. I started statting Orchid Mantis. I hit Dragon ahead of curve. That's an ideal 4-squad line. And the Orchid Mantis still felt bad. He's not a good unit. He's like, I truly believe if you're good at this pack, every unit here is a takeable unit in some scenario. Orchid Mantis feels like the worst of those. I would think Flying Squirrel. Oh, Flying Squirrel got a buff, but old Flying Squirrel was like, I would be there's more use cases to buy the Flying Squirrel than the Orchid Mantis, and it was just he's terrible. He's like one of the only units in the pack I feel like I never have a reason to buy, and almost every other unit in the pack I can think of a reason to buy. So I think he needs some love. But yeah, otherwise, I think everything's fine. I think this Flying Squirrel change is really good. Flying Squirrel is also, he's probably behind Orchid Mantis, the worst unit in the pack. But this +2 attack coming back, I think will be really good for Flying Squirrel. I'm a big fan of that. What else? Axolotl buffs friendlies, so Axolotl can buff himself. I love to see that. I think that's very good. I also think he got a base HP increase. That seems good. Yeah, mainly my 2 points is don't go through with these bug changes. I think they're unnecessary. I don't think they're doing what they were planned for. I'm not even sure what they were planned for. But, like, Ladybug doesn't need a buff. Just keep Ladybug the same. Beetle doesn't need to be different at all. He's fine as he is. Penguin could be nerfed by his base stats. He should also be nerfed to probably 4 health. What else? Axolotl seems good. Orchid Mantis needs a buff. And we don't want Poodle back. You took him away. We don't want him back no more. Yeah, I think that's all I really got to say about the Pack 2 changes. You know, I've talked about this a few times on stream or in the dojo. A few people ask me about it. I decided I'll just make a video on it, put my opinions out there. So, you know, I did my part. You know, if these changes go through, it is what it is. But I can say I've done my part, put my 2 cents out there. We'll see how the devs respond. But yeah, if you like the video, maybe subscribe. Have a good one, everybody.